They're still arguing.
Yeah.
Here. It's nice to see so many students with us tonight in school. We appreciate you being here. At this time, this is our only meeting in June. It's a combined work session and board meeting. So, again, welcome. At this time, I'll ask you if you would like to observe a moment of silence with us, please. And I would like everyone to stand for the pledge. And Aubrey Smith, who has just finished first grade at high school, is going to come and lead the Pledge of Allegiance for us. Great. Okay, whenever you're ready. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. She's going to be back up here in just a few minutes for a special award. Thank you. And we do have a lot of students. We do have some special recognitions tonight. The first one is going to be our Seneca High School track team champions. Dylan Hudson, the principal at Seneca High School, and Chris White, track coach, is with us tonight. So I'm going to turn it over to y'all.
Okay. If y'all could come maybe introduce and share a little bit about what you've accomplished.
Absolutely.
You want them to?
Yeah, as you introduce them, or
Oh, okay. All right.
come on up.
So thank you for having us. We appreciate everything that you guys do for us as a school and as a track team and everything. We're really proud of what the girls have done this year. They had a great year. They all work really hard. I'm not going to say much about them. I'll just introduce them. This is Michaela Collins. She was, stand up. She was the individual state champion in the 200 meters, the 400 meters, and the 4x100 meter relay. The other members of our 4x1 team is Sydney Parkhurst, who is also a member of the state champion 4x1 team, and Sarah Richardson, who was another leg. Our other leg, Celia Gully, is off traveling through Paris with a school group right now, so she is not with us. Ellie Berry was one of our pole vaulters. She finished third in the pole vault. Another pole vaulter, Sadie Goodrow, finished fifth. See, I'm trying to quote numbers, I'm sorry. Jalen Carver was a member of our 4x400 meter relay team. Brooklyn Campbell was another member and alternate for our 4x4 team. Bree Morrell was an alternate for our 4x8 team. And then Avery Butler is here. He was the individual state champion in the boys distance and second in the shot put. So along with them is our coaching staff, Dorisel Butler, Rich Airy, Corey Tate, Fred Sons, Tom Jordan, and Ken Berry. They do all the work. I always tell people I just drive the bus. They do all the work. So we're really proud of all of them.
And I want to interject because I know Coach White obviously will not brag on himself, but we want to brag on the students and also Coach White and his staff. Countless hours poured in. He's really created a track family. It's not a team, they're a family. So kudos. We're so proud of y'all and proud of you, Coach, as well.
And
I don't have that kind of lean, so I'm
board members, if y'all want to join them, we'd like to get a big.
Avery, stay right here, Jalen.
But I did just want to mention for the Seneca girls track, third straight state title, and a lot of the points that contributed to that state title this year will be back next year. So good chance at 4.
That's what it looks like in Florida. That's awesome.
all right, let's see. I think we can see everybody's face in there. Smile.
Great. Let's give all these a big round. Thank you.
To you students and coaches, I know it's an effort for y'all to come up here, but it is special for our board members to be able to congratulate you on really, really good achievements. And we appreciate y'all being here tonight and for your hard work and representing Oconee County Schools very, very well.
Yes, thank you so much. Our second recognition, I think Sandy Bose is going to present tonight. South Carolina Art Education Association, we had a first place state winner. So, Stan, you want to come up?
So Ms. Aubrey just finished first grade at Fair Oak, and while in art class, we learned about Henri Matisse, a French artist that painted paper and did collages. And then we talked about Claire Young's, which is a contemporary artist, and we compared the two. And Aubrey's class painted paper and then made alligators. And I selected her piece to represent Fair Oak at the South Carolina Art Education Association Western Region Youth Art Month exhibit. And that's all the counties from here to, say, Rock Hill, the upstate. And she was the first place winner there. And then from there, her piece went to the state level, and it also took first place in the elementary division. So her piece will be on exhibit at the Art Ed Conference in the fall.
You want to?
So, state winner.
The principal at Fair Oak, so why don't you come get in the picture with them all? Very proud of,
Y'all want to join us one more time, or?
well, of course we can.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Smile. Awesome, thank you.
I don't know where she goes from here, but she,
And you started at the top.
that's right, she started at the top.
Exactly. Great job. Great job. Good job.
I also want to add a round of applause for Mr. DeBose. He's retiring, or he is retired now.
Yes.
How 20,
29 years,
29 years all at Fair Oak?
all but one.
All but one at Fair Oak. The things that he gets our students to do is unbelievable. And then when talent meets a great teacher here, we just get unbelievable pieces of artwork that he spreads throughout our school for everybody to enjoy. So let's give him a round of applause.
Thank y'all so much for being here tonight. And Brian Odom has one more presentation that he would like to present tonight.
Mr. Patel from Daisy, and they were supposed to. It's hard enough being in education and being a student and coming to school and doing well in class, especially when you don't have a place to stay. And thanks to the government and the pandemic, we were able to receive some funds for ARP, out of the ARP, that's specifically designed to meet our McKinney-Vento students that do not have a home to stay in. And Days In was able to work with us. We do have funds that protect homeless families to help with them, but we're not allowed to give them a place to stay temporarily. We're only allowed to refer them to different locations. The ARP funds allowed us to be able to put up about 8 families this year, for anywhere from a one-night stay to about a week or 2 weeks while they were in the process of getting into a home. And Days In, if you ever need a place to stay or you have family come in, I would recommend. You might not think it's a great place, but they really worked hard. They were able to give us some discounts. They were able to really work with us on a moment's notice. but those funds are going to be running out after this school year, so we're going to need support. So if you have some contacts in the community that are willing to help us, that we can refer families that do not have a place to stay so that our kids can have a fair chance to come to school, not having to worry about sleeping in a car, sleeping in a tent or whatever. But we'll give the certificate 2 days in. I'll run it by there and give it to them. But we want to recognize and thank them for what they did.
Absolutely, and thank you. You know, it's just amazing some of the things that some of our kids go through that we don't recognize or realize. So we just appreciate Days In and all that they've done for our school district. All right, at this time, we needed approval of the agenda for June 5th for our work session and regular meeting agenda. And I know we've all received that. Anybody have any changes on that? All right, then it will be approved with no objection.
Ms. McCormick, I think some of our high school students may want to get out and get on the phone.
Thank y'all for being here. Okay, then there were, public comment. Okay. All right, at this time, approval of minutes. We have received previously the minutes from the May 2nd, 2023 special called board meeting, the May 8th, 2023 work session minutes, and the May 15th, 2023 regular session board meeting minutes. Anybody have any changes? Great. Then they too will be approved with no objection. So at this time, we'll go into the superintendent's report. Dr.
Thank you
Norsley.
very much. And I just want to give you a brief update. Ms. Hughes and our county SROs are working hard this summer. They are with some of our students. They do the leadership camp and the girls empowerment camp. So they've got students that our principals refer who could use some extra guidance in the summer, and they do an adventure camp for these young people and take them to different areas of our county and just have a good chance to mentor some of our students who can benefit from that. They take them on a zip line course up at near the river and take them fishing and just all kinds of positive outdoor experiences for our students. So I wanted to make you aware that's going on this week. And our principals are actually going to join the boys group on Wednesday out at near the river because our principals are going to do some of those activities as well. But we'll be, I think, eating lunch with them, if I'm not mistaken, up at Wildwater. So we're looking forward to that. But I want to commend Ms. Hughes and our SROs, our sheriff's office, for working on that because it's been going on for, I don't know, 8 or 10 years, I guess. And it's a very, very positive summertime event for some of our students. And then I also just wanted to say that sadly, this is Ms. Simmons' final board meeting as Assistant Superintendent for Instruction. And just wanted to publicly acknowledge that and thank her for her service to our school district. But I also want to commend her as a mom because she's making a hard decision, but she's putting her family first. And I think that is what we would want all of our parents in our county to do. So anyway, just thank you, and we appreciate all you've done for our school district. And
It's been a pleasure. Yep.
Well, we will miss you, and we do appreciate all that you've done in the past. Don't lose touch with us.
I will not.
All right, again, we're looking at a policy that we need to rescind.
yes, and so we normally, when we make policy changes, we discuss and then have 2 readings on those. This will kind of discussion on this. We don't have it, well, you can see it there. It's just everything's struck. We tried to be proactive and make sure we have a parental leave policy regardless of whether the state passed one or not. They did pass one, so ours is now it's not gonna ever be put into place because we have to follow what the state passed. So, at the July meeting, we will have a draft of the new state policy that will essentially rescind and then, I guess, renew. I have one from Ms. Mahoney that I'll share with you. Just wanted to let you know that our parental leave policy will need to get you to rescind that, and then we'll pass another one that is in line with what the legislature passed for all South Carolina school districts. It is, I'll just be honest, I don't think it's as good of a policy, but it is what it is. So we'll have to do that, and we'll have that for you in July.
Okay. All right, Mr. Schickling, our May financial report, please.
So as of the end of May, we are $42,000 short of our total revenue budget for the year. So we, again, getting those state payments in, taxes are mostly collected at this point. So I do think we're going to see a positive variance, pretty substantial on the local tax revenue side. We'll be a little bit short on the formula aid. We've talked about how we, due to the change in how the formulaic aid was dispersed to us, we were a little bit high on that budgeted number. But overall, as we talked about in the retreat earlier today, I think we're going to see a substantial positive on the variance on the revenue side. For the month's disbursements, again, it's just predominantly payroll items. More activity than we've seen in the past couple months on the disbursements report in terms of checks. But again, the familiar faces there, capital project work, utilities. You do see an architect closing out some of our architect's fees for Seneca Middle as we're beginning to get to the home stretch on that project. And so that's about it in terms of the financials. Is there any questions that I can answer for you?
Did anybody have anything, Mr. Schickling, from the report? All right, thank you. And now we have a few action items that we need to take care of tonight. And one is first reading approval on policy JICDA Code of Conduct. And we were given those changes last time.
And I gave them to you again. Put them at your
Again.
place, so you can go through them fairly quickly. It's got the page number and that listed, so. Again, of note, the majority of the changes deal with vapes and vaping. On page 1, under drug paraphernalia, we added inhaling and vapes. If you get to page 10, the title for the section would change to tobacco and vape use / possession. And then we eliminated the middle and high section to make it any student who violates the tobacco and vape use or possession rules, because we are seeing the issue all the way down to elementary school as well. Excuse me. On page 11, first offense would now be 2 days of out of school suspension for tobacco, vape use, or possession, a blue ticket from law enforcement, and attend the SDOC's drug and alcohol class, which we do in the evening. Second offense, 5 days out of school and placed on a discipline contract, and another blue ticket from law enforcement, which basically means you go to magistrate's court, and there's typically about $120 fine or so, and there can be community service with that. Third offense, 10 days out of school, which leads to a recommendation for expulsion, which would probably, for our students, mean you would end up at Oconee Academy, but, and yet another blue ticket. We want to be consistent with the blue tickets in all schools in all cases. We've been a little inconsistent with that, quite honestly, in the past, so we want to make sure that's consistent. Page 13, excuse me, added rollerblades to the skateboard, skates, and scooter section. Page 15, added vandalism, destruction, defacing, or theft of personal or school district property where the value is $50 or less. We have a over $50 one. In page 15, we will remove the current consequences for tobacco use and possession rule, and we put in the recommended new ones if approved. Page 17, possession of marijuana, illegal drugs section, add illegal drugs could also be contained in any type of vape, gummy, edible, pipe, or other device used to inhale or ingest a substance. And then finally, on page 18, added threat, Power School code is 027. Threats may be towards students, staff, or the school, and may be spoken, written, or posted on social media. Students who perpetrate the threat may also be disciplined, as we've seen an increase with that too, especially on social media. So the rest remains the same as we've had before, but those are the changes that we'd like to recommend you to approve. Sorry.
All right, first of all, if I could get a motion to approve on first reading this policy.
So moved. Second.
Okay, I have a first and second to approve on first reading policy JICDA Code of Conduct. Does anyone have any questions, see anything else that needs to be changed? I know we've had it for a couple of months already. All right, then, there's no more conversation. All in favor? So it is approved on first reading. And then another policy that we've seen several times, we need to have the motion for the second reading on policy KFD, the clear bag at district events policy.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve policy KFD, clear bag at district events.
Second.
Okay. All right. Any discussion? I think that's pretty clear.
Yeah, we've actually been implementing our own, so we'll put it in policy.
That's what I was just thinking it did.
All right. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. So all in favor? All right. Then we also have down as an action item, the third reading final approval on the general fund budget. And I don't guess there's been any changes whatsoever.
There have not. We continue to have kind of a standstill legislatively. So I know there's disagreement by the news reports and some funding for the colleges. They don't seem far off for schools, so we're hopeful that things won't change very much. But as it stands, we have no reason to make any revisions.
We may have to come back with an amendment after the year starts, but
We really have no options.
going with the best
Yeah.
information we have.
All right, so a motion to approve on third reading FY '24 general fund budget, please.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve FY '24 general fund budget, third reading, final approval.
Okay, second.
Second.
Okay. All right, with no other discussion, all in favor? All right, so the FY '24 general fund budget has been approved on the third reading, final approval. At this time, any comments from the board for anyone here? All right, then I will accept a motion to go into executive session for personnel items, as well as the superintendent evaluation contract and consideration of employee feelings.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. All in favor? All right, we will adjourn to executive session at this time.
I'll say, I hope my last moment goes quickly. I don't know when it's gonna be, but I hope it goes as quickly as ever.